Everyone to Saturday Night Football, brought to you by Family Ties Production and shown on AT&T Cable, Channel 73. And we have a good game for you tonight. We have the Bettendorf Bulldogs, rated number 4th in the state, versus the 6th-rated Assumption High School Knights. And with me tonight is Jim Sanders, a former United Township football coach, and Jim's going to be taking the color play-by-play, and I'm Jeff Manders, going to be doing the color commentary.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's exciting. I tell you, with Cy not being here, one thing we noticed right off the bat, it's taken about 4 people to replace him. I don't understand that, but what a great night. 2 undefeated football teams, perfect weather conditions. Shouldn't be anybody sitting back and say, well, if it hadn't rained, if the wind hadn't been blowing, if it hadn't been 25 degrees, it's just going to be settled right out in the middle of this field, perfect conditions. And Jeff, it's nice to be here with you.
Well, I tell you, Jim, we got a packed press box up here tonight, and we got a packed stadium. This is one of the largest crowds I've seen at Brady Street since about a year ago when these two teams faced off. And this thing seems to be an annual rivalry that not only is played once every year, but actually twice a year. And probably we can call this round 1 because there's a good bet somewhere down the road. These two teams are going to meet again in the playoffs.
Well, you just hope it wouldn't be a situation where it'd be a first round game, and that happens sometimes, unfortunately. So you just kind of watch this ball game. Of course, the conference championship is the first goal, obviously, for most of these teams. You want to be in the playoffs, win a conference championship. You're going to get there, and I'm looking forward to having had a chance to see anybody on this side play this year. I've had a chance to see Moline and UT on our side of the river, but everybody tells me this should be a knockdown, drag out as usual.
Yeah, we have some changes here for Bettendorf. Coaching staff-wise, we might have mentioned this before in previous telecasts, but Randy Scott, in his first year as head coach of Bettendorf, longtime assistant to Marv Habernack, who just happens to be on the Assumption side of the field, serving as an assistant for longtime coach Mark Kazmarek.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a chance to visit with those guys down there standing right next to each other, and I was wondering to myself as we stood there, how friendly would they be if Coach Habernack was on the other side of the field, but they seem to be enjoying it, and they both appear to be real nervous and but ready to go. And of course, Coach Freeman has paid his dues, and he's been a valuable asset of, my fault, Randy Scott, but a valuable assistant. He has been there, and he's continued the tradition. I mean, you step in for a legend, and you're undefeated, so can't do any better than that.
Yeah, you definitely don't see any letdown from a 6-0 Bettendorf team that comes in here. And from the preliminary indications, Bettendorf is going to kick off tonight, and Assumption will be receiving.
Well, going back deep for Assumption is you have to help me some of the names here tonight. Number 21 is Ryan Hengen. I'll get that right. And number 40. We'll get it. It's got to go to him.
Otto Nobis.
Okay. Deep kick. 8 yards deep. We were watching in the pregame, Jeff, how good these kickers are for both teams. And what a weapon that may be in a big game like this.
Well, both these teams have outstanding specialty teams, and this is going to be a battle. And predicting a winner, I tell you, it's a toss-up at this point, Coach.
Well, let's get at it. First play, first series, 1st and 10, 20-yard line. Assumption quarterback Joe Ryan is a junior, 6'2", 200-pound quarterback. Double wing option. Quarterback keeps. Great cut. He gets out to about the 26-yard line. Little speed option that time by Joe Ryan.
Yeah, number 73 on the tackle for the John Kleinschmidt for Bulldogs. And, option is something that we occasionally see it with Assumption. Not something they live steadily on, but they can run the option, and they can run it very well.
Well, 2 wide receivers for Assumption. 1 remaining back, the fullback. Fullback inside. A lot of trapping inside. Nobis that time on the carry, got the ball. Looks like they're going to mark that out about the 28-yard line. We'll set up a 3rd down and about 2.
Okay. Just like to set the offensive line for Assumption tonight. We have an offensive center, Doug Pershaw, 65, Drew Schmidt at guard, Corey Reitz at guard, Pat Toohey, number 75, at tackle, and Mike Bush, 64, at tackle. Right. We got Ryan Hangen playing one of the ends, and Mike Wheeler at another end position.
Sweep coming from the wingback spot. A nice run that time. That time, Travis Guy, senior, 180-pound running back, first down. They're going to mark that ball out at the 37-yard line. A little power sweep. That's pretty impressive. You run that wing T stuff. Coach Kazmarek informed me this is the West Coast.
West Coast.
West Coast.
Yes, West Coast. Prior to the Louisiana Purchase.
We didn't mention whether the west side of the Mississippi River or actually the west side of the country, but
number 30. That was Travis Guy. He's going to play one of the wings, and Otto Novus, number 44, the wing. And here comes Novus right now.
Novus on the carry. Bettendorf's there. He gets the ball out to the 40-yard line.
And good defensive effort by the Bettendorf defense that time. Number 30 on the tackle, Aaron Jenkins. Okay. And finally, to set that Assumption offense, we got Joe Ryan at quarterback, and Joe Brodry is going to be the fullback tonight.
I'll tell you, they spread the ball around a little bit. I think everybody in the backfield's carried the ball already, and that appears to be the plan. You do this. Second down. A little toss sweep, kind of an off tackle play. The big kid carries the ball that time. That's Nobus, 5'10", 175-pound running back. Got the ball out to, they're going to mark that thing, looks like at about the 42-yard line. So a nice drive, but sets up a first third down situation, Jeff. Yeah.
Well, Assumption real heavy on the rushing the football this year. They will pass the ball on occasion, but right away Coach Kazmarek wants to come out and establish that running game.
Absolutely. This time, usually a good opportunity for counter off this wing tee or boot pass. We got straight drop back, quick slant. Almost intercepted out there. Played beautifully by the linebacker.
Yeah, Bree Buresco, I believe, got a hand on that, if not mistaken.
Well, he did a nice job. Ran right in front of the quick slant.
No, I got to be correct myself. That was Zach Gableman, number 43.
Well, great job. I'll tell you, that was almost, you talk about a big game like this, usually boils down to 3 or 4 big plays. You never know when they're going to happen. That could have been one of them.
You're right. Key turnovers is a lot to do with who wins.
No, but like block punt coming real quick. There. Oh, a beautiful job that time by Bettendorf on the punt block. Nobus tried to get that ball off, but there were at least 3 guys there. And that punt was blocked by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Aaron Jenkins on the block. And we're just talking about key turnovers there, and we just saw one.
There's one. Bettendorf now have their first possession taken over at the Assumption 37-yard line. First down. Out of the huddle. Offset I. 2 wide receivers for Bettendorf. A lot of power out of this I formation. Run towards that guy. Good line surge, and he gets the ball out and down to about the 34-yard line.
Ball carrier number 24, Anthony Ribriesco.
Ribriesco that time on the carry. Follows the lead block by the fullback.
Yeah, a little change for Bettendorf this game. One of their leading rushers, Andy Parker, who usually handles the I-back position, is injured tonight, and Ribriesco is coming in to kind of fill that spot.
Did a nice job there. I formation again. 2 wide receivers to the near side. A little hand-back action. Nice cut to the 30-yard line. Mark it inside the 30-yard line. Another Briesco on the carry that time. Anthony did a nice job there.
Yeah, on his lead blocker there. Looked like a little lead play inside. Otto Nobus, 44, making the tackle for Assumption.
That was, and it was kind of things to look for. The first down was an offset I, and they ran to the offset fullback. That time it was a straight I. Fullback went one way, and the tailback went the other, generally indicating a trap play of some kind. And he got through there, sets up a third down situation. Offset I to the right, wide receiver right. Long count movement on the line by Bettendorf. Went to the long count, maybe hoping to draw Assumption off, but sometimes as a coach, you just didn't want to call any play because there's going to be a 5-yard penalty on somebody,
Well, that time it looked like the right guard jumped for Bettendorf.
Well, change the situation just a little bit. Third down now and 8. The ball's marked right on the Assumption 35-yard line. So we'll see if Bettendorf can keep this drive alive. A big turnover early. And the good news for the Bettendorf fans is that with their field goal kicking prowess of both teams, there's a potential of field goal here. Drop back pass. Quick out. Look out. And a beautiful play on the interception. Number 21 ran right in front of that play.
Ryan Hangen on the interception.
Beautiful play.
Great break on the ball.
Straight drop back, quick out by the Bettendorf receiver, and Hangen ran right in front of that thing. I mean, that's a pro play there. You don't see that happen very often. Turnover after a blocked punt, and Assumption takes the ball at their own 32-yard line. Too tight. Fullback trap inside, nowhere to run. Ball's loose and recovered by Bettendorf. Oh, excuse me, by Assumption.
Was recovered by 30, Travis Guy.
Well, Assumption just dodged another bullet, Jim.
They sure did. Travis Guy was kind of caught looking there for just a split second, but lucky he was because that ball came right to him. 3-yard loss. Inside fullback trap, a key play in this wing T offense. You get a double team against that 50 front and a trap block by the guard, but no room to run in there again this time. Double wing, too tight. Oh, bootleg pass, nicely done. Guy opens up beautifully out near the first down. Nobis on the reception that time from Joe Ryan. That's a tough play to defense. You bring that running back out of that backfield and you flood that area, especially the good ball handling that time. Made it very difficult to figure out who had it. Play is in from the sideline from Coach Kazmarek and his staff. Too tight, power eye left. Power play. Big hit at the line of scrimmage. But Nobis squirts forward, and I believe he got enough for the first down. We'll see where they spot it. But it looks like the first down.
Yeah, that was number 87. Bettendorf making that big hit. And we don't have a name on him. Brian Cutright, well, I think was the first one to hit him.
Cutright,
yeah,
I believe so.
Hit, but Assumption ball carrier still managed to make the first down.
Inside counter. Nice trap block inside, a good run. Out across the 45 to near the 48, across the 48-yard line. Well done that time. A little inside wing back counter that time. Again, most everything Assumption's going to do is going to be a trap block of some kind. On that short yardage play a moment ago there, Assumption went with 2 tight ends and a power I formation. We'll see if that happens quite a bit here. Same thing. Right back again to number 30 on the carry. Travis Guy gets out and marked the ball right at midfield.
Yeah. Well, they came back to the same play, and that time Bettendorf defended it pretty well. Taylor Hess making the tackle from his end position.
Well, sets up a third down situation, and after getting that first punt blocked, in your coaching experience, you get one block, you don't want to have to come right back and punt again very soon. So, double wing, 2 tight ends, motion, pass. Flood pattern coming to the near side. Overthrown just a little bit. That pass attempted for Johansson. Joe Ryan threw it just a little bit high and sets up a 4th down, 4th and 3.
Well, Johansson was open that time. The ball was just a little bit overthrown.
Sailed on him just a little bit. Punt situation again. And we'll take a look and see if Bettendorf's going to come after another one of these. They got the first one.
A little late in getting the punt return team on.
Nobis will punt. Better blocking that time, much better. A beautiful kick. Nice hang time. Ball lands around the 15-yard line, and they're going to mark the ball just outside of Bettendorf's 15-yard line. They'll take over. Why don't we take a short break? We'll be back with first down in just a minute. We're back now. First down, tailback, trying to get outside just a little bit. Stopped out across the 15-yard line. Looks like he got to the 17-yard line. Briesco on the carry that time. Most of your I formation teams, Jeff, are going to have a workhorse back there or two because they're going to carry the ball most of the time. Your fullback is mostly a blocking back, maybe run a little trap in there with him once in a while, run a little option stuff with him, but most of the time that fullback is going to block, and he's a very, very important job. Pisano, 6 foot, 220-pounder, is the fullback. Offset eye to the right, 2 wide receivers. Fullback's got it this time. Little hand back inside, nice hard run out across the 20. Mark that ball at the 22-yard line. Pisano that time on the carry.
Yeah, good play action on that. I tell you, it was difficult to see who was actually carrying the ball.
By number 68,
yeah.
Corey
That was 68, Andy Dirks. Yeah.
Third down.
65, yeah, Corey Reed.
Third down. Sets up a third and about 3. We have 3 minutes, 46 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Our score is 0-0. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Pass. Around the middle, tight end coming across. Beautiful pattern that time. Number 87 is Brian Cutright. That's 6'5", 215 pounds. He makes a nice target.
Big target. Big target.
Stop by number 2, Kyle Day.
First and 10 for Bettendorf. Play being sent in from the sideline, from the Bettendorf sideline with Randy Scott and his staff over there. Bettendorf, for the most part today, so far at least, gone 2 wide receivers. Tight end to the right side, fullback inside, trap. Makes a nice run, big hit in the secondary, but out across the 40 to the 44-yard line.
And got a good block from number 66, Brent Martin.
Beautiful job.
Yeah, his man turned, and good gain for Bettendorf.
They sealed that down real well and got the fullback through there. So, you got to keep him honest with the fullback, or your tailback's not going to be real effective. So that was a nice job by Bettendorf. Sets up a second and less than a yard. Offensive coordinator's dream play here. Bettendorf out, tight end right, fullback inside, pops through clean to midfield, ball's loose, and goes out of bounds, and it will be Bettendorf's ball, and it will be a first down.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bettendorf catches a little break there.
It's kind of amazing, because with the defense that Assumption's playing, that 6'2", and is pretty tough inside to run against you. You got you outnumbered. They got 8 in the box all the time. 8 in the box,
you're right.
And it makes it very difficult. But so far, they found a home with that fullback up in there right now.
Well, I tell you, Jim, they play that split 6. They've played it since Kazmarek's been here over 10 years ago, and they play it better than anybody in the conference.
Yeah, no question about that. Oh, man, there's a big hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. That time, Bree Briesco was the ball carrier.
Whew. Well, I tell you, that time, they tried to run off tackle that time, and the defensive end on that side just crunched the ball carrier and just pushed the blocker right into the ball carrier.
Offensive coordinator for Bettendorf is Chad Rembert, who was over at UT last year, and he did an outstanding job. He was our defensive coordinator at our school last year, came over here this year as offensive coordinator. And one thing you notice Bettendorf doing, they're spreading people out, and you've got to at least take one guy out of the box if you spread them out like that. Boot pass, no place to go. Great defense. As the quarterback, Cable was trapped in his own backfield on the bootleg pass.
Well, that time they came with the blitz with Otto Nobis coming real hard, and also Joe Beaudry was in there pressuring the quarterback, and Cavell just had no time to throw.
No, had no time to throw, but looking downfield on that, the receivers were pretty well covered also. So now is the offensive coordinator's nightmare. Third and about 16, the ball at the Bettendorf 41-yard line. 120 to go here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game, but not lacking for excitement, not lacking for contact. Offset eye, straight drop back screen. Nope. Oh, a nice play. Tight end kind of coming across the middle there.
Yeah.
Number 87 again, that's Brian Cutright, but he was covered. Boy, I hated to call screen there, but so many of the red shirts got loose right off the bat.
Yeah, they had Beaudry coming like gangbusters from this end. And
man. Well, Bettendorf will punt the ball away. 87 will be the punter.
Punt for Bettendorf, number 87.
Cutright will punt. To receive, Hengen. Oh, nice block downfield. And decent coverage by Bettendorf as Hengen gets the ball back to the 25-yard line.
Well, they got a nice block from Tom Roche.
Beautiful block. 55 seconds to go here. And the only thing I like about this is it's a quick-paced game. I mean, the offensive teams get on the field. The officials are doing a beautiful job of getting the ball in and out of the game. So we're right now playing again. We tried to take a break a while ago, and we didn't have 15 seconds.
15 seconds later, we were back on the air.
Double wing, 2 tight ends, power play off tackle. looking for room to run, but Bettendorf is there, and Bettendorf stuffs that ball back inside the 25-yard line. It's going to be about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Well, I tell you, Bettendorf did such a good job of penetrating into the backfield, and to stop those misdirection type plays, those counter type plays, you got to have penetration.
Well, part of the difficulty there with a lot of trapping that Assumption does, if you can find some way to get in the gap. Of course, there's the pass down the middle, open around the middle. Number 43 makes a beautiful catch. That's Weebler. Weebler takes the ball out to about the 47-yard line. Weebler broke wide open, the 6'1", 200-pound senior, and Ryan did a beautiful job of finding him.
Well, I tell you, Weebler did such a good job coming back to the ball, because the ball was slightly underthrown. Ryan threw a little bit off. He was under pressure and threw off his wrong foot, but the adjustment by the receiver was so good. He came back and got the ball and picked up the first down.
Beautiful job. 68 Corey Reach did a beautiful job that time of protecting the quarterback. Pass again, flood pattern always, down the seam, wide open. If he can get loose, there's the receiver that was open a moment ago, but just overthrown. Immediately, number 84, Ryan Mullins, broke wide open, but by the time he could actually throw the ball, it was a little bit too late and he was covered. Well, we're going to take a break here. We are at the end of the first quarter. Championship football here, 0-0 tie. Well, we're back, Jeff. What a first quarter of football. Fast-paced, good defense by both teams, some exciting plays.
And you summed it up, Jim. I'd say we're getting good, exciting play, offense and defense on both ends, and key plays with a few turnovers.
A little toss sweep that time, coming across midfield. Nobis was on the carry that time, coming from his right wing back position. Across midfield, sets up another one of those third and long. The thing I like too is both Coach Kazmarek calling plays from this side, Coach Remmert calling plays. The plays are getting in the game quickly. There's no delay. Double tight, double wing motion. Pass. Go in his face though. Oh my. No place to go with that kind of pressure and no receivers open, Jeff.
Yeah, Brian Cutright that time beat his man and just sacked Ryan.
Joe Ryan brought down by number 87, Brian Cutright.
Going to bring up a fourth down and a punting situation for Assumption.
Back deep is Andy Parker, the premier back, I would think, when you say.
Yeah, he's
returning. He's been maybe injured a little bit here, but he's been a workhorse for Bettendorf here.
Yeah,
punt coming to him at the 18-yard line. Fields it, no fair catch. Wall set up on the far side. He's not going to get there. Woo! 24-yard line, could not make it to the wall.
Yeah. Corey Reitz that time made the tackle. No. But you're right, Jim. I tell you, Bettendorf had that wall set up on the far side. Assumption would not permit him to get there.
Well, another possession here for the Bulldogs, starting at their 18-yard line. So they've had, after the block punt, they've had pretty good field position the whole rest of that first quarter, but now they're starting deep in their own territory, and we'll see if they can move the ball there. Single back set now. Too tight. And the ball, Bribriesco with the carry out to the 20-yard line. Bettendorf that time went with two wide outs and two tight ends, and a straight handoff that time to Bribriesco.
Stop by number 68, Corey Reitz.
Yeah, Reitz on the tackle again. For
Reitz is a two-way player and doing a lot of good things.
He's having a good night so far tonight.
That's right. Well, both these defensive units are doing a nice job. They're obviously well scouted. There's not going to be many surprises tonight unless they put in something just this week. So situational things, they pretty much know what Bettendorf's going to do in these situations, and now the job is just trying to stop it. They're going to have a penalty here of some kind or timeout. Yeah, Bettendorf's going to use a timeout because they didn't have the play set properly. Let's take a short break. We'll be back in just a minute. 10:09 to go, second quarter, 0-0. Two wide receivers far side of the field for Bettendorf. Outside handoff again. Briesco trying to run wide, but that defense from Assumption is not going to let you do that. Who's on that defensive unit, Jeff? We got some kids that
for the defense for Assumption, we got number 43, Mike Wheeler, 68, Corey Rates. This is off defensive line. Willie Bird, 42, Joe Broadway, 34, and 65, Drew Schmidt. We got the outside linebacker, Travis Guy. Inside linebackers, Matt Garvin and Otto Nobis. And in the defensive secondary, we got Ryan Hanchen, Tom Roach, and Kyle Day.
Very good. And you did all that before Bettendorf get to the line. Are you okay? Are you all right?
Out of breath.
Get the oxygen.
These coaches are getting these plays in fast.
A little quick swing pass here. Briesco makes a nice cut at about the 25, driven out about the 27. It was a third down situation.
24, Anthony Briesco.
It's going to be close, but short by a couple yards. That first down is going to be fourth down. So a good stand right there by Assumption. They're going to force a punt, and hopefully good field position for the Assumption fans as they drop back. Number 21, that's Craig. Excuse me, get
Should
the right
be Ryan
team.
Hanchen.
Ryan Hanchen.
Hanchen made the tackle on the last play, did a good job of preventing the first down.
For Bettendorf, as the big tight end is going to back here. Brian Cutright is going to do the punting. Nice snap, no pressure. A short punt. Lands on about the 45, rolls down to the Assumption 38-yard line, and Assumption will take possession there. Note how quickly these kids are getting on and off the field. One thing we'll notice, it's a perfect night for football, but Assumption's got a lot of kids, several kids going both ways. And Bettendorf is strictly two-platoon football right now. So we'll see. It shouldn't have any effect on a 60-degree night. But
your wife and I were counting the numbers for Bettendorf. We're counting up close to 60-some players on the Bettendorf sideline before game. And that may be a factor come fourth quarter.
Yep. Oh, nice attempted pass there from Ryan to Hanchen. One thing we'll notice a little about the Bettendorf defense, generally, at least the years I've watched them play, they've been primarily a 50 defense, but they're running a little bit four-man front now to cover those guards. And if you kind of, against a wing T type team, if you leave those guards loose like you would with a 50 defense, it allows them to run pretty free. But if you cover them like they are now, there's opportunity to penetrate inside once they leave. 30 on the carry this time for Assumption. Travis Guy makes a nice run out across midfield down to about the 40, let's call it the 46 or 7-yard line of the Bulldogs on a beautiful run that time.
Yeah, busted a few tackles, and Adam Smith on the tackle for Bettendorf.
Well, Travis Guy did a nice job there. But that time, if you just kind of watch the defensive side of the ball, they got the guards covered, but they get them out anyway. The tackles and centers have got to pick those guys off. Power sweep coming this way. 44 on the carry. Nobis makes a good run. He breaks it to the 30, to the 20. Well, a good run down to about the 15-yard line. A beautiful cutback by Otto Nobis. Jeff, I don't know your experience on these things, but I know that our experience tells us if you can find a way to cut back against the grain, that's where most of your long runs are going to come from. And Nobis got on a power sweep this way, cut back, and had lots of room to run. Wide receiver this side. Buck sweep this time, inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. Nobis again on the carry.
Yeah. Well, we got a little offensive momentum here this time by Assumption.
No, that's for sure.
Coming up with a big play from Nobis.
Well, you need those big plays, no question about that. Nobis comes out for a quick breather here. Number 4 comes in the backfield for him. That's Matt Garvin. He's also a linebacker on defense. Garvin's in motion, counter inside, big hole. Cuts it back inside, down to the 10-yard line. That time, Travis Guy. Our camera angle that time, Jess, was perfect, wasn't it? That hole opened up pretty nicely.
Well, these Assumption running backs, I tell you, they're almost like carbon copy. They all look kind of the same. They're not the biggest, but they're all tough kids, and they're quick kids, and they do a great job running that misdirection.
Power eye. Take a look at the power eye and shorter yardage situation. Power play straight ahead. Good hard run that time. I think that was number 4 on the carry that time. Was that Garvin? I believe it is. Garvin sets up a fourth down situation. So Bettendorf's going to hold, and we'll have our first opportunity to see our two excellent place kickers in the ball game right now.
Going to be about a 27-yard field goal from Jordan Moss.
Moss kick is up, kick is long, and the kick is good. And with 6:56 to go on our scoreboard, Assumption jumps on top, 3-0. Moss to kick off. Nice drive that time.
Yeah, impressive kick by Jordan Moss also. And he'll be doing the kicking off for Assumption.
Okay, another driving kick well into the end zone. One hopper against the goalpost down there. No return. What a weapon. When you know they're only going to get to start on the 20-yard line every time, and both teams are pretty much the same.
Yards in 7 plays. 2 minutes 10.
It'd be too easy, huh, Jess, to tell them it was 47 yards on 7 plays. But that's what exactly happened there. Got good field position, and Assumption took advantage of it. In Bettendorf's defense, however, they did do a nice job of
stalling the drive.
Of stalling the drive, and ended up only giving up 3 points. So see what the Bulldogs do now to answer back here. Middle of our second quarter. 3 wideouts with 1 remaining back. I'll tell you talk about covered. Looked like that time they're going to just kind of do a little stop pattern outside there with Cutright. But a nice job by Kevo as he looked out there and there was nobody
there. And by the time he went to the other side, Reitz was in his face again.
Yep. Beautifully done. Well, I think right now they're trying to spread out this 6-2 defense and maybe, complete a few passes and maybe force Assumption to do something a little bit different. But I don't think Coach Kazmarik's going to do anything different. No,
he doesn't change. I tell you, for an 8-man front, they play pretty good pass defense, those defensive backs for Assumption.
Yeah, there's a little nice
comeback route.
Yep, beautiful job. Big hits, but still fighting across the 25, out to about the 28-yard line that time. Beautiful catch and run by Phillips. Flag down on the play.
Complete to number 15, Danny Phillips.
Assumption doing a really good job swarming to the ball.
Absolutely.
21, Ryan Hanyon.
We're going to have a penalty of some kind here. What's going to be our signal here? We're talking to Assumption, and they're signaling from the sideline that they'd like to take this penalty. We'll figure out what it is in just a minute. Offensive pass interference, maybe some kind of a pick out there. Happens sometimes,
Even a hold of some sort.
It happens once in a while. Yeah. Holding. It came from the outside, so it had to be somebody blocking on the outside for Phillips, I would think. But that penalty moves the ball back now to the. Let's put that ball at the 16-yard line. And second down now. Second and about 15. Bettendorf's going to spread you out, aren't they? What a contrast between these two teams. Quick screen. Tries to get back inside. Nice run that time, and good yardage.
Well, I tell you, that time Assumption didn't even really honor the Twins on this side. They kept the free safety deep, and Bettendorf took what they gave them.
Well, they sure did. As you watch, a lot of our fans kind of watch line play and whatever their main interest is, but what a contrast between the 3 or 4 foot line splits for the Bettendorf Bulldogs and the toe-to-toe, the toe-to-toe you've got in that wing T from the Assumption Knights. So a big difference here. Blitz coming. Got to him, but down the middle, just a little bit overthrown that time under great pressure. A nice effort that time, but incomplete, and sets up another 4th down. 4th and about, we'll call it 4th and 6. And Bettendorf will have to punt the ball away again.
Yeah, well, Cutright was open on the fly pattern, but just a little bit overthrown.
Well, a couple times tonight, it seems like the pressures on the quarterback has been such that he hasn't been able to throw the ball when he really wants to throw it. And at least twice that I've seen, the receiver's broken wide open, but by the time he can throw it, the Assumption kids have reacted back. So,
and Cutright, big kid, tough to get a tight end down the middle.
Ooh, in a hurry. Nearly blocked again. That kick, nice kick, but no bounce, and ball goes out of bounds at the Assumption 46-yard, almost 47-yard line.
Well, defense holds for Assumption this time, and once again, they're going to get good field position for their offense.
Well, what's happening? Here again, if you kick off into the end zone and give yourself a 3 and out, or only give up 1 first down and out, you've got a decent chance of getting good field position again. It wasn't a bad punt by any stretch of the imagination, but you're backed up to your own 26-yard line. Why? Double split, double wing. Buck sweep. The old Green Bay sweep, and look out. Here goes Travis Guy. Out across midfield, down past the 40, and is driven out of bounds at the Bettendorf 32-yard line. Fake to the fullback, sweep, guards out in front. I'll tell you, if you're that poor cornerback and outside linebacker, it looks like the entire student body from Assumption High School is coming at you.
Yeah, you're right. Contain, and then let your buddies run them down.
And that's the truth. Big first down play there for Assumption. Same play coming this way. 44 on the carry. Nobis, he gets outside. Cut back. He could go. He's at the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Assumption. The Knights strike
Got a flag.
from 35 yards out. Penalty flag on the field, Jeff said. And we'll see what's going on here. Officials are going to confer. Not going to put any points on the board yet, are we?
Nope. The flag came late.
Real late and at the goal line. They're talking to Assumption, and we'll see. Might have been something happened right there by the goal line. Here's our official signal. Holding on the defense. Touchdown. Great 35-yard run that time by Nobis. They went sweep right for a big play for a Guy. They went sweep left, cut back again by Otto Nobis. 35-yard touchdown run.
We were talking, Jim, I tell you, once again, that cutback play, coming back, cutting it back against the pursuit, opens up to those big plays. We were talking about that earlier, and once again, Nobis does that.
Very good. Moss on the kick. It's up, and it's good. And with 5:10 to go in the second quarter, the Assumption Knights have opened up a 10-0 lead. We'll take a short break. What do you think? We'll be back in just a minute.
We'll be back in 30 seconds.
To kick off for the Knights, number 12, Jordan Moss.
Jordan Moss to kick off. And deep for Bettendorf is number 34, and that's Andy Parker. This is a lot higher and a little shorter, and he's going to field the ball a little shorter at the 2-yard line. Up the middle. Not much room to run as Assumption just mauled him at about the 18-yard line, Jeff.
Well, good kickoff coverage.
Absolutely fantastic, actually, because they had a nice middle wall set up, and the Assumption kids ran right through that.
Yeah, John Reapy, number 41 on the tackle for Assumption. Well, we were talking right at the break here that we were starting to detect Assumption offensive line starting to, take over a little bit, and Assumption as a result of getting some big plays from the running backs.
Absolutely true. Take a quick look defensively for Assumption, and a little change up, unless it's what they usually run against teams with a lot of wide receivers, but that defense, that 6'2 defense there is looking a whole lot like a 50 right now. So we'll take a look at that. They got a guy on the nose, and they're playing 2 tackles, 2 ends. It's a pretty good looking 50.
Well, they're going to start twinking it a little bit here, right, especially as we get down towards the end of the second quarter here, and Assumption or Bettendorf may have to start throwing the ball a little bit, but still a lot of time in the second quarter.
Power again. Oh my. I hate to keep using the word mauling, but that's exactly what's happening out here right now. Briesco tried to make a cutback near the line of scrimmage and got no yardage whatsoever. Third down, third and less than a yard is about the way they're going to mark that now, and I think it's a critical big third down play for Bettendorf.
You don't want to give Assumption the ball back here with 4 minutes to go in the half.
That's right. They need to get a first down at least, keep the ball the rest of this half. Okay, going to run off tackle. There's a first down. Nice hard run that time. Briesco on the run. That time Bettendorf went with 2 wide receivers to this side plus the wing. They sent number 48, Mike Paisano, in motion. He was the lead blocker for the off tackle play. Nice, that well executed. Now that one back set. Now Bettendorf's going to come back now. First down situation. Go to an offset I with 2 wide receivers this side. The tight end on the far side of the field. Tailback isolation play. Fights his way to near the 35-yard line. Short gain for Bribriesco. And there's too many red shirts there to tell.
Yeah. Well, 68 Corey Reed's down at the bottom of the pile. I tell you, he was the one, the rock that kind of stopped that play, and then the pursuit came over him. But,
absolutely. I've been impressed with Garvin's play, too, number 4. He seems to run to the ball real well out of his linebacker spot. You know, they got Garvin in there as a linebacker, and, of course, the big running back, too, number 44, Novus, is in there also. Fullback that time, trying to run a little hand back, a little counter kind of thing, and got another couple yards, but it's going to set again a 3rd and long. 3rd and let's call it 6 yards to go here. The ball at the 37-yard line. 2:40 to go. It'd be nice if Bettendorf could get the ball down for their fans, for sure, to get that ball down, maybe get a field goal on the board here, but right now yards are really hard to come by for the Bulldogs.
Assumption's thinking one more stop, and we're going again. That's on offense.
Right. Fullback's moving early in there that time. And that's just anxious to get off the ball, and that's going to happen. If you play football any amount of time at all, it's going to be your turn to make a mistake.
And Bettendorf just kind of continues to struggle offensively here.
Well, we'll see if this has any bearing at all. Bribriesco comes out of the ball game, and Parker, number 34, comes in at tailback with 2:18 to go, 2:17 and counting here. And we'll see if he's going to handle the ball here. 3rd down, and call it 11 yards to go.
Well, another change, Jim, is we finally have Matt Drinkle in the game. We haven't seen much of him, and he is a key player for Bettendorf, and he's in the game now.
Straight drop back pass, pressure from the backside, and there is. Look at that play.
Drinkle.
Utah Drinkle, he's to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Bettendorf touchdown, no flags on the play. 68-yard touchdown pass. Cable to Drinkle, is that right?
Drinkle, yeah.
Drinkle.
Well,
man,
these are two of the key kids for Bettendorf all year, and we haven't seen much of them in the first half. Parker's been kind of reduced to playing specialty teams, and from what I understand, those 2 kids were a little banged up, but I tell you, they're gutting it out, and they're coming out because they know this is a big ball game.
And I'll tell you what, Cable hung in there that time because he had backside pressure. As soon, he had no idea that was a completed pass because he was under a pile in there, but what a great throw. I didn't think the receiver was going to be able to get to it initially. Good snap, kick is up, and it's plenty deep, and it's good, and that makes our score 10-7. Lowenberg that time on the extra point kick, and our score 10-7, 1:51 to go here in the second quarter, Jeff. How about that?
Hey, well, it's a great ball game, I tell you. And we got like I said, we got the Bettendorf kids kind of coming back. We got some of the kids coming off the bench with the little injuries. They know this is a big game, and they say, "Hey, we're not going to let Assumption beat us like that. We're going to."
Well, and different ways to get there.
Rivalry.
That's right. Different ways to get there.
Well, they tried a couple deep passes to the tight end Cutright.
Right.
A little bigger, a little slower individual. Right. This time they put Drinkle in, who runs better. He got to the ball that the tight end couldn't
and even though that time the quarterback didn't have a lot of time, he had enough time. A couple other passes, he was under pressure at the point he should release the ball. That particular time, he hung in there beautifully, got that pass off. Number 5 will kick off. That's David Hanlon will kick off for Bettendorf. And 44 is back there, Nobis, and number 21, Hengen. Oh, that's a nice kick, too. Going to bounce it to 5.
Going to stay in bounds.
Stayed in bounds. And a nice cut in. Oh, a step away. Out across the 20-yard line to about the 23 as Bettendorf tried to pin, Bettendorf tried to pin Assumption in that corner down there, and they almost got loose. Man.
Yeah, it looked a little hairy over there, but Novus finally picked up the ball, broke a couple tackles, and picked up about 15 yards.
Then we got Garvin. We got Garvin in the ball game now at running back, and to give Novus an opportunity to rest just a minute. Ryan at quarterback. Sweep. And here comes Matt Garvin. Nice cut out across the 30 to the 35-yard line, and a first down with 1:41 to go. Clock stops in high school ball until they set the change, so opportunity to get a drive going here for Assumption.
Nice block by number 65, Drew Schmidt, for Assumption. Just came out and leveled the corner.
so much fun to watch good line play. And if you just like to watch guards, just kind of watch these kids come off that ball and trap block for these running backs. Straight blocking that time, straight drop back pass. Ryan escapes, nice throw and a good hit.
Good hit.
But a nice catch. We're going to mark that ball inbounds just across the 40-yard line. And stop that.
We're going to have a timeout.
Yeah, Assumption's going to take a timeout. Nice catch that time by Garvin. Good throw that time by Ryan.
And a good hit by Gableman.
Yeah. Well, not much room, and the key was they didn't let him get out of bounds either, so it was an excellent idea by both teams. I've been so impressed, I think, with the hitting on both sides of the ball. I know that there's no way to play across the river, but I'll tell you what, it'd be so much fun to see some of these teams like we used to be able to do
in the old days.
In the old days when, obviously on the Illinois side, I'd love it, not because of the competition, because we're always looking for non-conference games. Here, every game's a conference game, so you have absolutely no place to play anybody. But
well, we're kind of spoiled on this side of the river. A bad trip for us is to Burlington, which is an hour drive. All the kids complain, geez, we got to go to Burlington. It's an hour drive.
Well, for the Quad City, Illinois schools, I mean, you're going to have to go to, to Belleville, to East St. Louis, to the suburbs, to wherever, and then of course you get to go to Quincy every other year. And, as most of our people here know, there's just no way you can get from the Quad Cities to Quincy, I don't think. So,
yeah.
Well, back.
The kids get used to what they're conditioned
Absolutely,
for.
Absolutely. Double wide, double wing, drop back pass. Ryan steps up in the pocket and is going to go deep. It's a toss-up down there. Oh, nearly completed. Great play down there. Johansson was the intended receiver.
Well, the ball hung for a long time. It was kind of thrown on the outside shoulder. We had Kirk Peterson back on the coverage, and it looked like it was going to be a jump ball there.
Well, he did a nice job on that. Threw the ball in the air about 45 yards. Good pass protection, though, and I was really impressed with the way Ryan planted and stepped right up in the pocket. It's so easy for quarterbacks at any level to get those happy feet and get out of the pocket. Boy, he stayed in there beautifully. Motion. Fumble on the snap. With 34, I believe, that time. Baudry, I think, fell on that one, if I'm not mistaken. 1 minute to go and counting. Officials are going to stop the clock again. And
timeout, Bettendorf.
That's right. Bettendorf's going to use it to force a punt. Let's take a short break here while we set up this punt team. We'll be back in just a minute. Ball. Okay, punt formation. Nobis to punt. Parker to receive. Nearly blocked that punt by Bettendorf that time. Fair catch signal, but the ball bounces. No chance to get there, and the ball will roll to the 25. Rolls down, and it is down at the 25-yard line by Assumption. Okay. Okay. How about that?
Well, with 45 seconds to go.
What was that you just said? Oh, nice pattern out. Oh, it's kind of an outlet thing, and I'll tell you what, that's a nice play by number 22. Now Drinkle, because there's no guarantee that's a forward pass. Obviously, that one was from the angle we had here, but don't take any chances. Make that official call that incomplete.
45 seconds to go in the game, but Bettendorf doesn't do anything stupid here.
Right.
I know we're not totally content to go in by half.
No.
We're in by 3, but we're kind of backed up.
Well, Assumption's going to take a timeout here now. Decided maybe to adjust the defense a little bit and get themselves back to where they're not going to throw that ball over your head one more time here with 40 seconds to go. Well, it's been a great first half. I've been just so impressed with everything. I mean, the huge crowd, the contact level, the skill of the kids, the ability to the coaching staff's preparation. Oh, yes, no question. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not only that, but the turnaround type defense.
Yep.
Crisis defense. When one team makes a mistake and the defense comes in able to hold another team to a field goal, shut down the drive.
Absolutely.
There's been some momentum switches here back and forth.
Well, Bettendorf's going to come out with no huddle this time, and Assumption, of course, they got the opportunity to get set for the official. Will blow the whistle to set the ball for play. Got 3 wide receivers in this particular set. Quarterback's back to throw. A little bit high that time. Nice pattern out there by Phillips. did a beautiful route, a little quick out, just outside the boundary, and would have been a first down could he caught it.
Well, Assumption and someone in their prevent defense. Important though that no one gets behind them. Although 35 seconds to go.
Right, absolutely.
Catch the ball in front, make a tackle.
Absolutely.
Clock into the run.
Well, Twins this side, wide receiver left, tight end left, draw. Nice pattern. Parker with the carry out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And it's going to set up fourth down, and Assumption's going to force another punt. So, again, right on top of that one, no lag time. You'll see college games or pro games where you'll see the coaches will let that 4, 5, 6 seconds run off the clock, and then somebody will call timeout. I mean, right now, as soon as that play was over, Assumption knew they wanted a timeout to set up this fourth down and force one more punt.
Well, what we're seeing is two of the better teams in the state of Iowa playing tonight.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
No wonder why they are rated fourth and sixth in the state.
Well, this is a fantastic football conference. This seems like the highlights we see and the times we've been over here to watch them play. I mean, from top to bottom, everybody's got players, and they've got good coaching, and so, it's amazing that more teams from this conference don't have an opportunity to play on into the playoffs, because year in and year out you probably got 3 or 4 teams that are certainly playoff the potential for them to win ball games in the playoffs.
A lot of good coaching, a lot of good players, football players coming from the Quad Cities on both sides.
Absolutely.
Area colleges and
oh yeah.
Across the state and country know that.
Well, 4th and 3, the ball at the Bettendorf 32-yard line. 29 seconds to go in half before the half. Another beautiful punt that time. Drives him all the way back. Ooh, my, and a nice coverage down there. Made a nice return that time, but I'll tell you, the coverage was perfect. A lot of hang time and everything else.
Kind of outkicked the coverage a little bit, but I tell you, Bettendorf did a good job covering up. Hagen did a great job just to catch that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we'll see what we're going to get here from Assumption now with a situation where we've got 19 seconds to go. The ball on their own 27-yard line, a 3-point lead. Not going to sit on it. Going up top. Foot race here. No flag. Number 30 that time on just a go pattern, Travis Guy. But
bumping Kurt Peterson down the sideline. Referees that time let the kids play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you get kids running like.
It's like Amish porn channel.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little trouble trying to figure out who's doing what,
Well, you got a 40-year-old official trying to keep up with a 17-year-old, 17-year-old.
Well, now let's not get on those officials now. I'd be playing real deep, I'll tell you that, but running play up the middle to kind of run the clock out here. And Assumption's going to be not necessarily satisfied because they'd like to be ahead 10-0, but absolutely. Bettendorf comes out with the field goal, or Assumption comes out with the field goal, and the nice drive to get up 10-0, and Bettendorf hits the long pass. We're looking at 10-7, and we're at halftime here at Brady Street Stadium. We'll be back after halftime.
Okay, we'd like to welcome everyone back for the second half of the Bettendorf Assumption football game, brought to you by Family Ties Production and AT&T. Jim Sanders with Jeff Manders here, seeing a whale of a ball game for the first half. 10-7 score. Assumption over Bettendorf at this point. Scoring provided by a 27-yard field goal by Jordan Moss in the second quarter, followed up with a 35-yard touchdown for Assumption by Adol Nobis in the second quarter. And then Bettendorf come back, Jim, with a 60-yard touchdown pass from Cavell to Drinkle in the second quarter also.
Now, a good comeback. I thought, there's an opportunity there for Assumption to kind of run off and hide a little bit, but Bettendorf came up with a huge play. And we talked earlier about every ball game like this boils down to 2 or 3 big plays, and that obviously we look back on that long touchdown pass, and that may have a major impact at the end of this ball game. So we'll see, but what a great first half, and you expect that. These teams are playing for the championship of the conference, a higher seed, I assume, in the playoffs if they seed teams over this way. But nevertheless, a great opportunity to see great high school football here.
Well, we talked about 2 key players for Bettendorf who did not start the game. Matt Drinkle and Andy Parker, a little banged up. I tell you, though, when the game got tough in that second quarter, they came off the bench and provided a little spark, especially Drinkle.
It really did.
Big touchdown catch.
We'll see how much Parker plays here in the second half. He's back to return the kickoff here, along with Aaron Jenkins, a starting corner defensively, and we'll see. And here again, I haven't had an opportunity to know what kind of injury he has. He's been banged up, as you mentioned before. I'm just not quite sure what is going on, but we may see a more steady diet of him in the ball game in the second half here as Bettendorf tries to get that running game going against that tough 6'2 defense by the Assumption Knights.
Well, Jordan Moss here to kick for Assumption, and he's been putting it in the end zone.
Well, line drive that time, one hopper, and Parker has it. Middle return again. A little crease in there, but they close that real quick as Parker gets out across the 20 and stopped just short of the 25-yard line. Gets up quickly, rubbing the back of his neck a little bit on that one, but ready to go, but he's going to stay in the ball game, Jeff.
Well, the coverage teams for Assumption have been doing a very good job tonight. We've seen them on the punt coverage, kind of bottling up Bettendorf returns, and that time good coverage on kickoff.
This early third quarter action is always fun to watch. See what kind of adjustments each team's going to make. 2 wide outs for Bettendorf. Offset I to the left side. Hand the ball to Parker. Cut back across the 30 or across the 25-yard line to about the 27. Isolation play inside, following the lead block that time of number 48, who is Mike Pisano.
Well, you had mentioned earlier that it's very important for Bettendorf to kind of get the running game going. Second quarter, Assumption kind of was winning the line of scrimmage and kind of bottled up Bettendorf's running game.
Well, it's always good to tell, too, as you watch that handoff on that last play, and it looked like Parker had a nice run going, and he ran for quite a while, ended up picking up only 3 yards on the play. So a hand back. Oh, Parker's through this time. Tries to cut back, can't get it done. Is close to the first down, and let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it real close to the first down marker.
Number 34.
Nice little hand back that time. Fake to the fullback going one way. Hand the ball back to Parker coming the other way. They're going to mark the ball right here and bring the chains in. We're going to take a look and see if we have a first down here. So
looks like it's going to be a measurement here.
Yep. So Bettendorf's going to run the ball a little bit, huh? What do you think? You going to get first down or no?
Well, usually we pass this one on to our producer, Jess Medina. Yes, Jess, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Okay.
Thumbs down.
64 consecutive games without being wrong. Until?
That's that chain out. Right now.
Until this game. The streak is broken.
The streak is broken. It had to happen. Well, Jess hasn't been feeling real good, and
Well, the glasses are a little thicker this year. The hair's a little shorter.
Man, and he doesn't even have a microphone. He can't even protect himself here, so that's not necessarily good. 1st and 10, ball at the 34-yard line. First possession of the second half. 10-7 Assumption. Offset I, tight end left, offset left. Isolation play. Parker gets up in it, gets across the 35-yard line to the 36.
We kind of set the Bettendorf offense here real quick. We never had much time to do this in the first half. We got number 84, Mike Sellers, and Brian Cutright at the ends. The offensive line consisting of Paul Giersick, Brent Martin, Jake Miller at center, John Shabillion, and Drew Dennis. Nick Cavell's our quarterback for Bettendorf, and Mike Pisano is our fullback with Andy Parker coming back at our I-back.
2nd down and 8. Fullback, inside trap. Nice play across the 40, drives out to about the 42-yard line. It's going to be short of the 1st down, but Bettendorf on the ground here, moving the ball down the field against the Assumption defense.
Number 48, Mike Pisano. Stop by number
I'll tell you, Pisano, I've been impressed with him as far as a good power runner, obviously a good blocker.
Good blocker.
Out of that I formation. You got to be able to block if you're playing fullback in the I formation, and he does a good job of that. Assumption fans on this side are kind of getting fired up here a little bit. And for this big 3rd down play, Twins right. Motion across the formation. Take a look at this now. Sweep. Fullback kind of got in the way on that one and no place to go. Parker's not going to go anywhere. Quarterback turned to pitch the ball and did a great job because at that moment the fullback was kind of in his line of sight, and that delay I think created a little bit of a problem and sets up a 4th down. Let's call it 4th and 4.
Well, that time they tried to run that sweep to the short side of the field. They kind of ran out of room also.
Right.
And they were, Assumption used the boundary as a kind of a defender over there.
Absolutely.
Hangen back to receive the punt from Cutright.
Another good snap. And a nice, deep, booming kick. Going to land at about the 7-yard line, take one bounce into the end zone, and the field position game now swings Bettendorf's way just a little bit. Ball will be set up at the 20-yard line. It'll be Assumption's first possession. 8:52 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 10-7 Assumption over Bettendorf.
You sense these teams a little more relaxed in that first half. I tell you, that first half, boy, a lot of intensity, a lot of big plays and tough hits. And come out second half, just everyone's a little more quiet. The crowd's not into it either.
No, that's also true. I was amazed at that. Looks like defensive end here on the left side for Bettendorf might have jumped off sides. His Assumption comes out again. No line splits. My wife's here. She's seen a lot of football games over the years, but I don't know if she's seen line splits this small in her life. We always ran 3.5 foot line splits, and so we're used to seeing people spread out like Bettendorf does. But I'll tell you, the Knights are coming off that football, and they can get on you in a hurry there.
I tell you, it seems like since Kazmarek has come into the MAC conference over 10 years ago, these line splits have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller.
Sweep coming this way. Look out. A nice cut to the outside. Maybe a touchdown saving tackle out to about the 36-yard line. Travis Guy that time on a nice run. 1st down Assumption.
Well, we had a shoestring tackle from Mike Collins.
Man.
And I tell you, that's the thing that saved a touchdown.
Well, you see there the ability, because of the tight splits, you can get to the corner a lot quicker that way. And you run that sweep coming out of this wing T look, while you've got all kinds of blockers out in front. And sweep the other way. The old Green Bay sweep runs right through. 2 tacklers that time. Otto Nobis ran through a couple tacklers to pick up about, let's call it 8 yards on 1st down.
Kyle Wagner.
And both teams have decided we're going to just run that ball right at each other. Kind of like the left-right kind of look that you're getting from Assumption right now. That's a tendency from year after year after year, probably.
Mirror plays, you got it.
Yeah, fullback inside this time on a nice run that time.
Inside trap, we might as well add that.
Baudry that time. So you fake it to him and give the ball to the wing back on the sweep, go the other way with the sweep, and then give it to the fullback up the middle on the trap play for the 1st down at midfield.
Well, these Assumption running backs, I tell you, it seems like each year Kaz has 3 or 4 of them that are all about 5'10", 170, 180 pounds, but they're tough kids, they're strong kids. They spend time in the weight room and they run hard.
Well, and they've run this offense forever, so it's just nothing new to them. Off tackle, number 30 breaks it again. Travis Guy, they have no answer for him right now. Great blocking out in front that time. Linemen pulling, ends are making great blocks, wing backs making great blocks for Travis Guy. That ball's going to be marked at about the 35-yard line of the Bulldogs. Assumption on the move right now. Both teams move the ball pretty decent here on the first drive, but right now Assumption's having the better of it. Motion, fullback inside, a good hard run in there, nice open hole that time as Baudry, the fullback, works himself up inside down to the 31-yard line. Call it to 32.
Stop by number 40.
Right now, Bettendorf defense just a little bit back on the heels, and Assumption doing a good job with inside trap and counter type plays coming from their wings.
Figure the conditioning, these guards, especially in tackles too, that pull sometimes have to be in to run all that stuff because they're running everywhere the running backs go. That's where they're going. Guard getting out in front, ball's loose. Guy didn't have the ball as he left the quarterback that time, and a negative yardage play. Going to mark that ball back at the 39-yard line. So Assumption didn't need that one. This is a 3rd and long now. I was so interested that time in watching number 68 Reitz come out of that pack as a blocker coming out of there. I was amazed how quickly he came out and what. At the 5-yard line. Beautiful punt that time. And field position again. Well, Jeff, how about that?
Well,
Kicking
good
game stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say good pooch punt by the Assumption
Well, he just hit
kicker.
that real well.
Hit that coffin corner well.
You know, and that's an area where sometimes you're tempted to maybe go for it. If they had the negative yardage play there, they might have gone for it. Bettendorf now 2 tights, wide receiver to the right, offset I right, fullback power play, nowhere to run. Parker that time stopped short of the 5-yard line.
Well, right now the strategy of punting the ball looks pretty good.
Yes, it does.
We talked about the touchdown and the Assumption scores in the first half. Both coming off with Assumption starting in excellent field position.
Well, and here again, right now that they're doing everything right. Both teams are. The kicking games have been real good. We've had the 1 block punt. Officials are going to take a timeout and work on a pair of shoulder pads here, it looks like. But the kicking game's good on both teams. Defense is good on both teams. Both offenses have done some good things today. And the turnover thing has been pretty small. We've had the ball on the ground a couple times, recovered by Assumption both times.
And both teams are real patient, making the other team drive the football.
Well, that's that way this game's going to be. I mean, the people who are watching this that have watched these games over the year, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and this thing's going to go the distance. 2 tights, wide line splits, I formation, long count by Bettendorf. Backfield action wasn't as smooth as you'd like. Fullback's got the ball. And again, out to about maybe the 6-yard line is about all the farther that Bettendorf was going to go that time. Pisano on the carry.
Yeah, a little misconnection between the fullback and the quarterback on that exchange. It wasn't good from the start, and did really not pick up a whole lot after that.
No. Well, when you lose that mess, you're just, if you're Bettendorf right now, you're just happy you still have the football. Because those that ball gets bounced out of there, and you lose the ball on a fumble. The crowd on the Assumption side is getting fired up now, Jeff.
Yeah, well, big stop here if they can hold him, because they're going to get the ball back in great field position if they can come up with a big stop here.
Off tackle, Parker with the ball, trying to get to the corner. He does get to the corner, out across the 10 to about the 13-yard line. But
I think we saw a flag over there, Jim.
Well, I think so, too. I can't pick it up yet, but Jess says there is one. It's short of the first down for sure.
It came in real late.
Yeah.
Either a late hit or possibly maybe a hold face mask.
Well, if you look here on one of our 19 monitors that we have here.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Boy, huge call there. We got a face mask penalty against Assumption.
And they had him stopped for the first down.
The 5-yard variety. This year, I like that rule. If you paid much attention to that, Jeff, this year? With
Well, we haven't seen
5 or 15.
Yeah. Well, in that case, it was I think a good thing because the face mask did not look that flagrant. It was
Right.
tough to pick up.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, though, Assumption had stopped them.
That's right. They were going to have to
for
punt
the first
ball.
down. 5 yards, just enough to give them the first down.
Fullback Pisano inside across the 20. He marked out around the 22-yard line. Fullback inside, more than likely a trap play. 3:34 to go here in the third quarter. Score hasn't changed any.
No, and I tell you, the game just goes flying by.
It
We've
sure
done
does.
some MAC conference games this year. Some of these passing teams like Muscatine, even Central come in. I tell you, we've had long nights but very exciting football to watch.
Well, we always liked in our side of when Mike Tracy was coach at Alleman, trap play inside, Parker with the ball, no place to go, going to set up a third down. When Coach Tracy and I had a chance to go against each other, we figured we could probably be at our local restaurant having a cheeseburger by about 9:30. Then all of a sudden we got a couple coaches in the league like to throw the ball. That made the cheeseburgers about 10:30, 11 o'clock because their sophomores are throwing it too. So you're not getting. I said that's not fun. Let's get the game over. Let's run it up and down the field, and let's go have a sandwich. But
well, as the pro game and college games have kind of opened up over the years, I think all that filters down to the high school, and you see more and more coaches, more and more teams putting the ball up.
Straight drop back, quarterback under pressure, got a receiver in the middle open, but a great, my guy that time for Assumption ran right in front of that one, and Bettendorf is going to have to punt the ball away. And Bettendorf got a first down by means of a penalty and got that ball away from their own 5-yard line, but only got it out to the 20.
Well, they're lucky they never got picked off because Guy was in front of the receiver and had his hands on the football.
He did a beautiful job there. Well, number 87 is going back. Cut right will be back to punt. Let's see if Assumption's going to try to get there again or whether they're going to set up a return. They're bringing some people. And then they're going to try to set the return up. Short punt. Goes out of bounds, and the field position game is being won right now by Assumption as they're going to mark that ball at the Assumption 46-yard line. Let's take a quick break here. That means you may have time to go to the refrigerator, but probably not. We'll be right back.
Ready.
Here we go. Assumption first down option. Quarterback keeps, tries to turn it back inside, but does not get that job done.
Well, good containment on the option play. John Zarinsky coming up and making the tackle.
Well, they've run the option about 3 times, and each time, at least to this point, every time they've run that play, Ryan has ended up keeping the ball. Now, that means a couple things. One, they want him to handle the ball a few times in the ball game. They think they've seen something. Or 2, Bettendorf's taking the pitch away right away. Could happen either way. A counter play off the wing, and there's no place to go. And right now, Assumption's going backwards. Nobis on the carry that time, but was tackled back near the 43-yard line. 3rd and about 13. Your coaching experience, you ever notice when you look across those 10-yard markers, when things are going good, those 10-yard markers look like real close together. And then when they're not, the offense isn't moving the ball, it looks like it's about a mile and a half.
And the other team yard markers go out.
That's exactly right. Crowd up on the Bettendorf side now. Assumption side getting up. Huge third down play. Sweep play coming this way and nowhere to run. Matt Garvin on the carry. Sweep right. 4th down.
Well, we had Mike Sunderbridge and Zarinsky and all on the tackle. Swarm of Bettendorf defenders on that play. Just smothered that little counter play.
Man. Well, defensive units right now have adjusted and done a really, really nice job. Nobis will go back to punt. Parker will be back to receive. Let's see what Bettendorf chooses to do here. They had a nice wall set up on one other return, bringing people. Oh, he says nothing, and you got a guy down. Must have touched the ball. Ooh, Parker goes down, and now a flag comes in. The Assumption fans want to roughen the kicker on that.
Oh, the Assumption fans, the Assumption players, the coaching staff.
They're checking to see if they actually touched the ball. Coach Kazmarek is asking if they actually touched the ball or not. That's be the only reason they probably wouldn't get one.
I did not see, any type of blocker being knocked into it, and Kazmarek is very upset.
Not real excited about that.
Now
call.
there is a flag down too.
There was early. There was one early.
Yeah,
Probably going to go against Bettendorf. We're thinking Jess thinks it's a clip, and of course this is another one of those where he hasn't missed any in a long time. Had a little question about that. If you're taping this, run that back, but they didn't signal. They didn't signal at all that either the guy was blocked into the punter or that he actually touched the ball.
And the referee was right on top of the play.
That's right. Clipping is the call against Bettendorf on the return, and Bettendorf takes possession at their own 11-yard line. So the field position game's changing a little bit, but now Bettendorf gets the ball at the 11 instead of the 5.
Well, Coach Kazmarik's assistant's kind of holding him back on that one.
And Coach Hobnick wasn't the one doing that.
Yeah.
Well, the Bulldogs with the ball again now as they get ready to start here. I'm going to take a second here. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Oh, you got to get the right football in the game. Everybody gets to bring your own ball. Well, that was interesting events there. They didn't get the roughing the punter call, but we did have a clipping penalty at the end of that. So, unfortunately, if they call the roughing the punter, Assumption still got the football. You got wide receivers, 2 wide receivers to the right, quarterback back to pass. Looks like he might have just taken his eyes off that to quick out. But that time, with only going with one back, they move a big fullback. Pisano becomes the tight end in that particular formation. So he was in there and he blocked.
Drinkle just dropped the football that time. He's doing a little hitch pattern, and it just bounced right off his pads.
Well, you can see that they really want to get him the ball, and that was going to be a one-on-one kind of thing. If he'd have caught it, he would have had at least one guy to beat there, and that's not bad odds if the kid's got quick feet, which is obviously he does. Coming out with 2 tight ends. When they go 2 tight ends and 1 back, Pisano becomes the tight end to the left side. Oh, a little reverse kind of action there. That time giving off number 7. That's Sean Meyer. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing in the playbook right now for Bettendorf that looks real good.
No. And I tell you, they got terrible field position again, backed up against their own goal line.
12 seconds to go here, and that'll be our last play here of the third quarter. Well, we've had an exciting third quarter, and it's been very action-packed, but no scoring. And as we go to our fourth quarter action here, we've got the Assumption Knights ahead of the Bettendorf Bulldogs, 10-7. Crowds up on both sides of the field. If you're not excited now, hang around. We're going to be back in just a minute. Well, Jeff, we're back. I'll tell you what, 3 quarters of big-time contact, close ball game, championship caliber football.
And
big.
Yeah, both teams have kind of settled down. Bettendorf just terrible field position this last quarter.
Swing pass out to Parker. He's tackled at the 9-yard line. Absolutely no place to go.
And that's going to bring up a punting situation again for Bettendorf. Assumption's going to get the ball back in good field position.
Real good field position. Well, I'll tell you what, both teams well prepared. Again, a little swing pass outside that time, and Bettendorf or Assumption had several guys there, not just one, but several. Well, now if you're Bettendorf, you'll be punting this ball out of your own end zone, so this could be real interesting. Cut right to punt. Good snap. No pressure. Going to set up some kind of return. Line drive kick, though. Bounces it to 40. Assumption lets it roll, and there's little change in the field position here as that ball roll dead at about the 43-yard line. So Assumption will take over with their first possession of the fourth quarter at their own 43-yard line.
Please take out your 50-50 tickets.
Well, we noticed that, or now we haven't talked about it yet, but were the cheerleaders the ones that sold the 100-yard 100-yard submarine sandwich. Is that the cheerleading group that did that? I think so. Shake your head yes, Jeff.
I think Jess Medina was the one who purchased it, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they went 100 yards of a sub sandwich and have sold it all, folks. Look, oh, nice cut that time. Followed a nice block outside by number 68. What a huge block by Corey Reitz. And Novus makes a good run.
I tell you, Reitz is having a good game. Not only on the offensive side of the ball, but also defensively. He's playing a whale of a game.
Well, they found a home a little bit off tackle there with that play. And again, when you got a kid like Reitz out in front of it, why, I think I'd follow him around too.
Please come to the press box.
First down, big into Bettendorf territory already. Coming this way again. Same play. Not as much yardage that time as Bettendorf does a better job of closing that. Novus gets across the 45, get down to just about the 44-yard line. They broke a little pattern there, didn't they? Instead of going right, left, we went left, two times in a row. But Bettendorf was at home that time, made a nice stop. Looks like Assumption decided we're going to go tight, too tight. Fullback trap inside and a nice cut. Look, oh, a nice tackle in the secondary. Beaudry that time made a beautiful cut and a touchdown saving tackle in the secondary.
Nice trap on that one, though.
I'll tell you what, he just lined him up and made a great tackle. Doesn't be said about that. Beaudry certainly was putting the moves on. But boy, it's fun for a fullback to come through there and not meet anybody till you run all the way to the safety.
Yeah, nice tackle by Collins, the safety, though. He had him one-on-one and brought him down well.
Off tackle coming again this time. This time number 4, Garvin. He might go. He cuts back to the 10. He's to the 5. He's to the 3-yard line. Matt Garvin breaking tackle after tackle. Sweep off tackle coming this way. Garvin carries the ball all the way down to the 3-yard line, and Assumption is knocking at the door.
Yeah, well, student body left that time, and I tell you, big gain again with the cutback. They're going hurry up offense right away.
No huddle. Bettendorf's going to have trouble getting everybody on the field. Okay, oh, and the official wouldn't start the clock. Fullback inside, blasts in near the goal line. No say, yes, touchdown. Finally, the official signal. Touchdown that time. I'm trying to figure out, was Garvin or it was Beaudry, fullback, inside for the touchdown after Garvin gets the Assumption nice to the 3-yard line. And with 9:32 to go in the fourth quarter, Assumption leads 16-7. Moss will be ready to attempt the extra point. Penalty flag goes. Helps sometimes, to make a good extra point field goal team, you need a lot of good blocking. You need a good snapper, a good holder, and a good kicker, obviously. Nick Hufford, number 3, a 6-foot, 175-pound junior, is doing the snapping. Number 21, that's Hagen, is doing a nice job of holding. And, of course, the kicker is Jordan Moss. So it takes everybody doing their job to get a good extra point attempt here. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is low.
No good.
And was no good. No good.
Moss that time just didn't get it up very well at all.
Well, he got there real quick. I mean, so you just don't know that ball was going down. But let's take a break here. 9:32 to go. After the missed extra point, Assumption leads by a 9, 16-7. Well, we're back, Jeff. Jordan Moss will be the one to kick off.
Well, I tell you, the last play, Jim, the last series, very impressive by Assumption to big gain down inside the 10-yard line. Assumption runs down there, snaps the ball before Bettendorf's defense ready to go, and they end up scoring.
Absolutely.
Shows a well-disciplined and focused team.
Kick goes deep, picked up there by number 15. That's Phillips. Gets the ball back to about the 20-yard line. Looks like the officials marked the ball right at the 20. Just about as effective as that boomer into the end zone as that high, very high kick down to about the 3 or 4 yard line, and the coverage team made a stop right at the 20. So
Assumption not making too many mistakes in the second half, and even in the game, they're playing pretty well.
Well, Bettendorf has to answer back. they've got the kind of attack that can do that. They've hit the home run ball once tonight, so we'll see what happens. But the running game hasn't gone real well. Quick stop pattern and a huge hit.
Good hit by Hangen coming up there, just drilling Drinkall on the short hitch.
Well, the idea of the hitch, as you know, and most of our fans know too, is that we're going to have that guy scared and we're going to drive him. We'll take 2 steps and take him right off the ball. But the coverage that time kept the defender right there with him, and the ball and the tackler got there just about at the same time.
Well, Bettendorf not really throwing the ball upfield a whole lot, other than the touchdown pass and a couple to the tight end early in the first half.
Absolutely.
Not really getting the ball upfield at all.
Well, Pisano is out now, the fullback, and Bettendorf's got a different tight end. Okay, going to try to go down the seam. Throw a little bit wide. The idea that time looked good. They faked the dump pass to Bryant Cutright, and hoping to draw the secondary to that. And then, of course, running number 22, Matt Drinkall, down the sideline and perfectly covered.
I was going to say, that was in the coach's thought process, setting it up on the first down, then coming back with the hitch and go on the second down. And the ball just a little bit overthrown and in pretty good coverage by Assumption.
Well, a huge third down now. Third down, let's call it 3rd and 8. The ball at the Bettendorf 22-yard line. Bulldogs quickly out of the huddle. 2 wide receivers left. 1 back. Quick slant. I'm not quite sure who they were throwing that ball to that time. They had the tight end working to the flat. A quick slant by Danny Phillips. But irregardless, it's incomplete, and Bettendorf will punt the ball away again. I'll tell you, the longer this game has gone on, the more impressed. I mean, I was impressed to begin with, coming undefeated, ranked 4th and 6th in the state, but I've been super impressed with the way Assumption has prepared for this ball game, the way their kids have executed, and they've created things. Beautiful punt that time. Drives the receiver deep to a 28-yard line. If he gets by 1 man, there's a wall set up out there. There's a wall out there. And he gets the ball back to about the 41 or what, the 41-yard line that time. Woo!
Well, Zach Gableman over there was about the last guy that we had to beat. I tell you, they get by him, we're still running down the sidelines.
Yeah, what a beautiful return. Again, special teams can make a big difference in a ball game like this. Now Bettendorf's got to play defense. Down 16-7, 8 minutes, 21 seconds to go. And you know Assumption is going to run that ball right at you. Fullback, beautiful cut back in there. Gets the ball across the 45. Stopped at about the 47. Modry on the carry that time.
Well, Assumption wants to kind of grind the clock down here. It could get the clock down to about 4 minutes to go in the game, make it even more difficult for Bettendorf.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think Coach Kazmarek would be real disappointed with about a 14-play, 7-minute, 55-second drive, and maybe he gets stalled on the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Second man through here. Oh, nice defensive play, though, by Bettendorf. You know the Bulldogs aren't going to give up. So stuffed that right for about a yard loss, actually. Novus on the carry that time.
And that brings up a big third down for both teams, but especially Bettendorf. They need to get a stop here and get the ball back for their offense.
Absolutely. Play comes in from Coach Kazmarek from the sideline. Did a good job getting in and out of the huddle. That offensive line has just done a wonderful job. We've talked mostly about the backs, but that offensive line has done a very nice job. Fullback inside again. Oh, what a cut. See where they mark it, it's going to be real close. It's going to be short, though. Modry on the carry, and he was about a half a step from going all the way. And right now, the fans on this sideline want Assumption to go for it. They always
they always want you to go, but it's only about a fourth and a foot. But
they always want you to go for it, but if you don't make it, then it was not a real good decision.
Yeah, they're going to have a measurement here.
I've noticed that in my career. They're behind you 100%.
Then you're an idiot.
If you make it, then you're an idiot. If you don't, that's not right. I just made that up. That's not true.
Made that up.
Doesn't happen over on the other side.
They have your support.
Sure.
All your fans, you say they're all behind you, win or tie.
Win or tie. That's exactly right. And since they took the tie out, they have no other choice. Fourth down. Assumption's left their offensive team in the ball game. The crowd gets their wishes as they break the huddle. They're on their feet on this side now. as Joe Ryan at quarterback draws.
Long count.
Bettendorf offside. The old let's go on 2 trick.
Well, their plan may never have been to snap the ball. I don't know.
Well, we actually did that. We've done to where and we were pretty good at drawing people off sides ourselves, but we knew we weren't going anyplace because we didn't give the kids a snap count or a play. Now, if you're a lineman or a back and you don't have a snap count or a play, the odds are you're not going to jump. So. Now
and you practiced it a few times too, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe on the bus ride over we talk about it. No, you practiced it a lot. First down, Assumption, sweep. Nobis that time stacked up just across the 45-yard line. Going to mark it at the 44. 2nd and 9. All you got to do is just keep making first downs now. If you are Assumption, use the clock. If it takes you 3 or 4 downs to make it every time, who cares? Very confident group in that huddle right now.
And I tell you another thing I noticed is they are starting to slow down, burning some time a little bit between plays here. They're not quite getting those plays in and out like they were in the
Guy
first
with the carry, found a little crease, gets to the 40-yard line. Travis Guy, he's a tough runner, 5'10", 180 pounder. You said everybody's 5'10", 180 pounds.
Yep, Travis Guy type,
true.
Joe Baudry type, Matt Garvin type.
Baudry's 5'10", 175. Nobis 5'10", 175. Mm-hmm. You're also noticing in
good hard runners, so all
Kazmarek's
3 or 4
doing a nice
of those
job
kids.
also of holding the guy. He runs plays in with wing backs, receiver type people, and he's doing a good job of holding that kid a few extra seconds so that they get the play run off. Perfect timing. In motion, counter inside, guy with the carry, stuffed up near the line of scrimmage, got across the 40, but not much more. And sets up a 4th down now, and we'll see what's going to happen here. It's probably a punting situation for Assumption, and it will be with Nobis going back deep. So 4th and about 3, we'll call it 4th and 3, mark that ball at the 38-yard line. And a timeout coming for Assumption here. Had a couple players either hurt or got equipment problem or something, but we're going to take a timeout. Assumption's going to take a timeout. 4 minutes, 59 seconds to go. 4th quarter action. Assumption 16, Bettendorf 7. We'll be right back. Fourth down here for Assumption. The ball at the Bettendorf 38-yard line. Nice snap. Nobis on the punt. Oh, shake that one a little bit. And they're not going to gain a whole lot on that. I'm not sure he punted it for a first down. Nope. Didn't quite make it there. I'll tell you what, when you've been carrying the ball like he has during the course of the ball game, and that's a hard skill to develop. That little pooch kick or a sideline kind of kick, very difficult to do, and you're off just a fraction.
Yep,
it makes a world of difference.
And, the plays before you were getting banged up carrying the football.
Well, he's only playing every play at linebacker. Every play has a running back. Punted the ball every time.
I don't know if he's doing a lot tonight for the Assumption
for sure. See, in the old days, there'd be all kinds of grass stains and stuff all over and mud on this guy. Now, he's just sweaty. Slant. Beautiful catch that time. And a nice cut. Beautiful play out there by Matt Drinkall.
Little slant pattern. And Coach Kazmarek's probably wondering, Jesus, why can't at this point we get the punt inside the 10 and Bettendorf comes back and throws a slant and bang.
Makes a lot of difference.
We're in a game still, guys.
Absolutely. Well, loosening their linebackers up a little bit, knowing they're gonna pass the ball. Playing a good little pass out here. It's obvious who they're trying to get the ball to, and that's the number one guy they want to get it to.
You almost got to think double coverage, maybe. I don't know.
Well, they've gone into away from their 62. Obviously, they're not playing that right now, and they're getting some more guys into the secondary. They
walking off those outside linebackers.
Absolutely. They sent Joe Ryan, number 10, the starting quarterback, is in there now, which would be a position as an outside linebacker. But he's also bumping and running on the tight end. Draw play inside Parker to the 40 and stood up at the 40-yard line. And it will be close to a first down. It will be a first down for Bettendorf, down 16-7, 4 minutes, 29 seconds to go. That draw play can be real effective when you start loosening that secondary up a little bit. Not indicating that Bettendorf's in what you call a prevent defense, but, over the years, I've always looked at the prevent defense. It
Prevents what?
Prevents you from winning.
Yeah.
It's what it does most times. But they're playing some underneath coverage. 3 deep, 4 under. Decent pass rush. Oh, wide open out here. And out of bounds. Nice catch that time. Matt Drinkle, the 6'1", 185-pound senior, marked that ball at the 25-yard line.
Well, good pass by Cavell, I tell you. He threw it up just over top the underneath coverage and before the deep coverage, and a good pattern by Drinkle.
Well, they're running some bump and run stuff on the outside, so the real short stuff's covered. Their 3 deep has got the deep stuff covered, but there's some stuff in the middle. You know,
if you can thread it.
That's right. If you can put it in there, as the quarterback did that time. Outside, wide open. If you can get turned around, can't do it. That ball, they broke a guy wide open. That was Danny Phillips, and the throw just kind of went over his inside shoulder instead of the outside shoulder. And as coach, you kick. How in the world can a guy get beat deep in a situation like this? But they threw the ball and didn't throw the ball to the number 1 receiver, and that guy's getting all the attention right now.
Well, Coach Kaz shouting instructions out to his defense.
Yeah,
get a little intense.
That's always a good, easy
here.
coaching point.
Yeah.
Don't let the guy run by
that.
you. Yeah. 2nd down. A chance right there for Bettendorf to catch up quickly. Handoff. Parker cuts back. Got some quick feet, he really does, but he gets stood up and stopped at the 25-yard line. Little sprint draw look that time. No huddle.
I was just commenting, Bettendorf starting to get a little pretty decent pass protection here for Cavell.
Yes, they are.
Getting time to throw the ball.
Oh, nice throw and a beautiful catch out there. Inside the 20, about the 17-yard line to Phillips. That time, they made connection. I'll tell you, I just been very impressed. The quarterback got a timeout, and Bettendorf's going to take a timeout here. With 3 minutes, 32 seconds to go, Bettendorf's got the ball, 4th and 3 at the Assumption 18-yard line. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, here it is. It boils down to this. 3:32 to go. 4th and 3 for the Bulldogs. Down by 9. Pass. Crossing pattern. Short. Assumption holds. Assumption will take the ball at their own 19-yard line. The defense holds for Assumption. And Bettendorf turns the ball over on downs, Jeff.
Well, they tried to hit the crossing pattern. Ball was thrown a little bit behind the receiver. But Assumption put a little pressure on that time and did not make it easy for Cavell.
No, that made it a tough throw.
Big stop, though, for the Assumption defense. And now if the offense can grind some clock here, it's going to make it real difficult for the Bettendorf Bulldogs. They're running out of time, and they need 2 quick scores here.
You bet. Well, here they come. Assumption with the ball. Coming to the outside. Novus, a nice cut. Big hit from behind. Gets the ball across the 25, out to about the 27. It'll be a 1st down. I've been really impressed with the running backs. You mentioned it before, how, they're just studly guys. They run hard, but I'm just so impressed how they run behind those good blocks. They've got wing backs blocking well. Their tight ends are obviously blocking well. Guards and tackles getting up inside, doing a nice job.
See so much block down, pull the guard, kick out.
Right.
Running back comes through, timing's perfect.
It's proven. It's a sound philosophy. Not a lot of people run this anymore, but the ones that run it torture people with it. Assumption's doing a great job tonight. 1st down. No, look outside now. Now Travis Guy breaks a tackle near midfield, driven out of bounds on his own 47-yard line, and that will be enough for another 1st down. And Assumption is dominating up front right now. That's very impressive. Very impressive. Execution has been outstanding for Assumption. Bettendorf's played they played a good ball game. And I'm not saying this to say that Bettendorf's not doing a good job, because they've got some hard-nosed kids that have played as good as they can play. But right now,
Assumption's winning the battle of the trenches.
No question.
They're not only in the offense but also defensive line. They're up on time of possession, and they've been executing all night long. And other than one turnout, we're not too bad.
Stuffed the fullback up in there that time on a first down play. But a lot of times you run that fullback in there. If he pops it, fine. If he doesn't, you take up 25, 30, 35 seconds off the clock. And that's important now with 2:32 to go, a 9-point lead. The Knights are looking pretty good right now to become the conference champions. Year 2000 is kind of a special time. And obviously,
well, they got a tough North Scott game next week, Jim. And North Scott coming in here with only 2 losses too, and that is going to be a dandy of a ball game.
Oh. I just been kind of watching the box scores coming from this side of the river, but you got 4, 5, 6 teams over here that can all play.
Yeah.
So
North Scott, very similar team to Assumption. The fact that they're very physical, they rely on their running game real heavy.
Matt Garvin knocked out of bounds at about the Bettendorf 37-yard line, out of bounds and a first down.
But, season's not over with yet. Assumption's going to have some challenges down the road. And you can also bet that somewhere down the road, good chance Bettendorf and Assumption are going to have to be playing each other again. And so round 1.
That's right.
May go to Assumption with 1:45 to go in the game. But good chance that the Bulldogs will get an opportunity to come back and see if they can beat these guys.
Now, how many teams from the conference can actually make the playoffs? Are there any rules on that?
Different playoff format this year in Iowa. They've kind of split up the state in offering a select number of teams from the west side of the state and a select number of teams from the east side of the state. Allowed it in the playoffs. 6 and 3 teams definitely on the bubble.
Okay.
7 and 2 mostly will get you in.
Okay.
Conference champs automatically qualify.
Okay. So you're sitting now. You say North Scott's got 2 losses at this point in time.
Yep. Muscatine is a possible playoff contender also in the MAC conference. Bettendorf, Assumption.
Okay. Well, why not? I mean, I know there's a lot of good football played over the state of Iowa, but in a concentrated area, you'd be hard-pressed to find better than this. That's for sure. Bettendorf takes a timeout, and 1:18 to go. Well, we've seen a championship caliber ball game tonight. There's no question about that. Very few mistakes. A lot of hard hitting. Few turnovers. Good specialties too. Yep. Good kicking game. Good coverages. But we were here watching the sophomore game, and both sophomore teams had excellent kickers and great speed and punt returns and kickoff returns. That sophomore game looked like a track meet for a while. Their Assumption ended up being the winner, and I believe they're 7-0 right now at the sophomore level. And Bettendorf sophomores, that was their second loss. So they're 2 very, very good soft teams also. Well, sometimes the rich get richer and the poor, they keep working harder to get better. Just keep working harder. That's all you can do. But there's some success stories over on this side. Obviously, North Scott's resurgence is a big plus. Muscatine's resurgence is a big plus. You've had your Pleasant Valleys have been tough for a long time, and Bettendorf and Assumption, of course. But there's that hope. Blue, no place to run that time, as Matt Garvin got nailed and a quick timeout called by Bettendorf this time. Well, that should be their last time. Why don't we take our last break? How about our last break? Okay. Want to do that? We'll be back in just a minute. Well, we're back, Jeff. Fourth quarter, 1:12 to go. Second half has been pretty much all Assumption. Fullback inside, look at that cut. There's a run for about, oh golly, about a 7-8 yard gain that time. And we're getting down to the point where all Assumption has to do is snap the ball and give it a knee here pretty soon. Although it does bring up a third down with about 55 seconds to go. Well, they won't even have to snap this one until they get to about the 28 second mark. So you could conceivably kneel it on it here. And by the time they got ready to go again, they don't have to run a play if they don't want to, other than the quarterback taking a knee. It's going to be off tackle though. Nobis makes a cut to the outside, does a good job of staying in bounds. He gets stopped at about the 15-yard line. That's enough for a first down, so doesn't make any difference. We also have 24.3 seconds to go, so the Assumption Knights don't have to snap the ball and will win this huge ball game here from Brady Street Stadium as they lead 16-7.
Well, it was a good game, Jim. It was nice working with you.
Well, my pleasure, for sure. It's great to get over and see a ball game. Heck, I'd almost paid money to come see the game tonight.
Well, we had a good crowd tonight.
No,
A
I had
lot
a
of
great
people
crowd.
did pay good money to
Great
get in
crowd.
here. And the Assumption fans are going to go happy with the first win, at least in round 1 of the Assumption Bettendorf game.
Absolutely. Well, it's senior night. Only fitting that these kids come forth and play well. You got Travis Guy is a senior. Nobis is a senior. Beaudry is a senior. They kind of carried the load. Garvin comes in and carries the ball several times, and he was only a sophomore, so he got his kicks in here tonight too. So
well, it's good execution by Assumption tonight. They come away with a big win, 16-7 over Bettendorf. For Jim Sanders, Jeff Manners, Family Ties Productions, and AT&T, we'd like to say good night.